Hey guys, James Wachob with TurnkeyInvest.com. We are having a great month with sales, rentals, collection of rent. Things are going awesome here at TurnkeyInvest.com. And I've said it in a couple of videos, the stock market's doing horrible. Interest rates are low. People want to invest in something tangible, and real estate fits the bill. So let's talk today about some changes in the mortgage industry that we're seeing. So the first article I'm going to pull up here is talking about Chase, the huge lender, JP Morgan Chase, and how they are changing the way that they lend to borrowers for mortgages. So they're saying that they are only going to accept mortgages with people that have 700 credit scores and can put 20% down. So some people would look at that and say the sky is falling. Oh my goodness, what are they doing? They're going to ruin everything. What if all the lenders go to this? And I beg to say that it could be a good thing for America. You know, a 700 credit score is not that hard to obtain, and 20% down payment on a house is not that hard either. Now, it does mean that some 20-year-old first-time home buyers might not be buying right out of the gate, that someone who has not been diligent with their finances might not qualify as easily as they have in the past. And guess what? They can rent a house until they do. They can rent an apartment. They can live in a duplex. They can have roommates. God forbid someone straight out of college doesn't buy a $300,000 house. A lot of people, I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey. Politically, I don't get very political, but if I were to say I like somebody politically, it'd be Ron Paul. Ron Paul has always been a proponent of this type of action for responsible home ownership. For someone to go out and buy a house with only 3% down or 0% down, which I see way too often in the home buyer market, doesn't make any sense at all. For someone with a 620 credit score or lower to be able to buy a house doesn't make a lot of sense either. Credit scores are a measure of how well you pay off debt. And if you don't have at least a 700 credit score, then maybe you should wait 5 years, work really hard on proving that you can pay off some smaller debts before taking on a $200,000, in many cases I've seen more, first-time homeowner to buy a house. So I look at this article. When I saw this article, I posted on Facebook. Perhaps this is a step in the right direction for America. Now, a lot of home builders, a lot of people that sell entry-level homes would not like this. But, you know, if you really think it through, your grandparents didn't walk in with zero down and buy a house. Now, the Veterans Bill is the first thing that started this. After the end of World War II, veterans returning home, there were special programs for them. And they should have had that program. But in today's environment, for someone to be able to walk in with zero down and purchase a $200,000 plus house doesn't make a lot of sense, especially with a less than good credit score. All right, so the other thing I wanted to talk to you today about is options you have through the CARES Act. If you have a 401 or some type of retirement, it can be tapped into. So I recently had a client that was able to pull out $100,000, up to $100,000 from their retirement account without any penalties. And then his wife was able to do the same. So they've taken this dead money out of a very linear, very risky investment. And risky meaning it's invested in the stock market, even though it's in the S&P. I mean, we see what's happening with the stock market. With one virus, this world has changed in many ways. The stock market took a plummet, and people are looking for rental properties now. So, you know, one school of thought might be, well, why would they take that hit? Their investment portfolio went 30% plus down in a matter of days. The other thought is take that money out, invest in something real that is a true investment, not a speculation like real estate, cash flow real estate. And that's what that young couple did. They're in their early 30s. So they just beat the system by 20 plus years because they'd have to be 59 and a half to take that money out without paying the penalties. So that's amazing stuff. Seek a tax advisor if you have questions about that. James is not your go-to guy. However, I have great people in the industry that I can hook you up with. Midland IRA I've got another video on my YouTube channel you can watch where we interview Midland IRA, and they can walk you through how to set up a retirement account, a self-directed IRA, and there's other ways to invest by pulling money out of a retirement account. Now would be the time during this CARES Act. It's the first time that since I've been in real estate, maybe ever, that they've allowed this. Speaking of Facebook, if you get a chance, go to our turnkeyinvest.com, like this page. It's a great way to see updates and videos of properties that we're selling, that we have for sale, and just to keep up with us. It's just one more tool to keep in touch with us here in Memphis, Tennessee, and see the progress we're making on these cute little houses as they become available, as they're reserved. Same with Foundation Property Management. Go there, like that page, and I'll brag on Foundation a lot, but I'll brag on them a little bit here. Look at the marketing. So I'd encourage you to go and look at the marketing for other property management companies. See how they're getting that message out to the public to be able to get multiple inquiries about a property, multiple applications, so that we can pick and choose the best tenant to rent your property. The person that's going to live up to those standards more than just taking the first person that finally walked in the door because your marketing didn't get the word out. Unless you're on a major street and that sign is being seen by thousands of cars, this property I'm looking at here happens to not be on a major street. You have to pull people in. You have to market to get these people in to see the property in person and then fill out an application. We want 10 or 15 applications before we choose the tenant is the ideal world. Cute little house I just finished in the Berkeley area. Actually, it's not finished yet. It's very close though. We took this, the worst house on the street, turned it around, made it one of the best. We already have 6 applications and it's not finished with renovations. However, look at this marketing. I mean, we were pretty close to finish. Wish you could see the before pictures on here. Appliances haven't been installed and we already have 6 applications. All right, enough bragging there. So from the website, turnkeyinvest.com, we have brand new houses built as rentals. We have duplexes. Duplexes are a hot commodity. I know you guys love those. We have everything from C-class properties to A-class properties. This little A-class property in Brighton, Tennessee, great schools, low taxes. The seller is paying $2,500 of closing costs for you on that one property. So that specific property, we're going to pay $2,500 of your closing costs, which is usually right under $5,000. So cash out of hand is going to be much lower on that property. We have some houses with a 1-year rent guarantee where your entire year's rent is paid up front into your management account the day you purchase. One of my investors, he said, James, like, why are you doing this? You know, you're having good sales, even though there's a coronavirus and some people aren't working. I had one client who said, James, I'm ready to buy this house, but what if people quit paying their rent? You know, what if people quit paying their rent because of this coronavirus thing? It's like, well, we have a great track record. In April, we've collected all of our rent, 100% of our rent. So some of it came in late, sure, but they paid their late fee, and now we're all collected on our single-family homes. If that's your only concern, that they're not going to pay rent, what if I pay the entire year up front for you? Alleviate that question. He said, I'll take it, James. So I came through, strategically picked a few other properties. This is a way I can partner with you. Anytime I can find a way to partner with you, that's what I want to do. All righty, so let me go back to share screen. We have some great properties available right now, adding new properties daily. I bought 3 houses today. Renovation will start in the next 2 days, and they will be on the site very, very soon. They'll first start in the coming soon column down here, and then they'll be moved up. The color of the picture will turn from black and white to full color, and that's how you'll know that you can reserve the property by clicking the button that says order now. You fill out the quick survey. Our team sends you the paperwork. We make it a seamless process for you to be able to rinse and repeat when you're ready to add that next house to your portfolio. I'm working with 2 brothers out of California right now. They just added their 4th property to the portfolio in less than a week. This also has been a great time for my investors to be able to dig into the diligence vault on each property by clicking the button that says click here for more information and really study our product. I put all the information out here transparently for you to see, including a crime map, a great pro forma that gives you a financial indication of how this property is going to perform, what I call a property data sheet. It gives you all the information that I have available as a real estate broker in the state of Tennessee and Mississippi. A sample purchase agreement, so you can read over that. Rentometer gives us comparable rents for the area. So we have a master subscription to that we give you access to. And then a scope of work that is extremely detailed on each property that goes through and lists all the work that's been done on that property. The bottom right-hand corner gives you some of the critical stuff like number of bedroom, bathroom, square footage. age of AC, age of water heater, age of furnace, age of roof. So it gives you all of that information. And then a letter from me and my family. I call it the Turnkey Invest Handbook. So a letter about who we are, what we do, the complete process broken down for you step by step. More information about foundation property management, which really is the key. Once you buy the house, now foundation property management is your operations team here in Memphis, your boots on the ground, takes care of you moving forward. Some key contacts from our preferred lenders, our closing attorney, our hazard insurance provider, and then an open invitation for you to come visit us here in Memphis. We'd love to meet you one-on-one. So from Foundation Property Management, you can see on the first page, the first few highlighted properties. But if you were to click on the button that says rentals, it'll give you a deep dive into all the properties we have rented or for rent at all times. This company has done an amazing job for our tenants, making sure that we manage these properties as if they were our own. Every time there's a question, James, what do I do about this situation? First thought in my head is, all right, if I own that property that my buddy in California owns, how would I handle it? Dispatch the plumber. It's an urgent need. Or let's go take a look at it. Send me or somebody from my team out, put eyes on it first before spending your money. Sending a plumber out, that's $250 whether he has to do any work or not. So we very common sense approach, backed up by some powerful software and some smart people in my office who make sure that all the pennies are watched over. You watch the pennies, they turn into dollars. Everybody knows that saying. So we're honored that you guys are investing with TurnkeyInvest.com. We take it very seriously that you put your financial future in our hands, and we want to take care of these properties as if they were our own and make an impact in your investment career. Thanks. Reach out to me and the team. We'd love to hear from you.